Hey guys, Brady here, and I just saw Winchester. So Winchester stars Jason Clarke and Helen Mirren, and this is the true story of the Winchester house, aka the house that ghosts built, or as they say in the movie, the house that spirits built. Because the original title of this movie is Winchester, the house that ghosts built, but I don't get why he kept saying spirit in this movie. Whatever. So Jason Clarke pretty much plays like this guy who's like told to go investigate this house, and like Helen Mirren's like this very particular kind of person. Like she wants you to ask her the right questions and not like the wrong questions, and pretty much I don't know. I felt like she was kind of controlling this movie, but this movie is a horror film, and I think that's where the movie falters. And I'll get into that in a bit. But this movie is directed by the Spielberg brothers, who directed Jigsaw back in October, and I really enjoyed Jigsaw. When I saw this movie, they had like this little like introduction to the movie with the Spielberg brothers saying how they tried to make this movie as scary as possible and stuff like that. And I kind of felt bad because this movie wasn't that scary, and I feel like, I don't know, like I guess they try to put all their heart into it, but what they produced was just not that great of a horror film. There was a lot of jump scares. One really effective jump scare towards the middle / end of the movie. That was the most effective jump scare. But other than that, the jump scares were terrible and pretty much bogged this movie down. I mean, if you look at this movie as not a horror film, it is a really good drama, historical drama about the Winchester house and everything about it. I mean, the sets were great, the costumes were great, the acting between Helen Mirren and Jason Clarke were really good. It's just that the movie didn't really have that much of a great script. The story was okay, and they I feel like they shouldn't have made this as a horror movie. This movie worked a lot better as a historical drama than a horror film. I feel like the fact that this movie is a horror film kind of hurt this movie a lot. Like I feel like if this was what's it called? If this was advertised as like a historical drama, I feel like people would like this movie a lot more. Since it's a horror film, people are judging it as a horror film, and it's not that good of a horror film. Same thing with Crimson Peak, directed by Guillermo del Toro. That was advertised as a horror movie. It's not a horror movie. It's a period piece, and that's pretty much what this movie is. It's a period piece. But the Spielberg brothers themselves called it a horror film, so I guess this movie is a horror film. I don't look at it as a horror film. I look at it as a period piece. It's an interesting period piece. And plus, they have a tie-in to the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. And it's a very brief scene in this movie, although you don't really see anything except for the house getting like shook a little bit. We need a 1906 earthquake movie. The fact that this movie did it already is like, really? We need one that actually focuses on that earthquake. Because that, I've seen pictures, and that just screams movie. We need a movie of that earthquake event. But yeah, so I'm gonna give Winchester 2.5 out of 5 stars. If this wasn't a horror film, I'd give it maybe like a 3.5 or a 4. But this is a horror film, and it just didn't work as a horror film. So 2.5 out of 5 stars. I would see this again because I don't know. I just like the way they captured 1906. They made 1906 just leap off the screen. It just looked believable. And plus, one more thing before I go, I went to a packed theater. I went with a group of friends from college, and yeah, big group of people. It was either Winchester or Jumanji. I already saw Jumanji, so I wanted to see Winchester. And I got a seat right next to these two kids that were pretty much Snapchatting the entire movie, and they They were taking Snapchats of the movie. They were on Instagram. They were pretty much just on their phone the entire fucking time. And like I felt like just doing this as I'm looking at the screen, like reaching over to their phone, ripping it out of their hand, and throwing it across the theater. I feel like they would have kicked my ass or something. I didn't want to risk missing the movie or getting kicked out of the movie. So, yeah, I didn't do that. So, I feel like it should be illegal. Well, not illegal, just a rule not to bring your phone into a theater. Leave your fucking phone in the car. You could live without your phone for 90 plus minutes, 2+ hours. I guarantee you, whatever's important on your phone is not that important during the movie. You're distracting the people around you, and I suggest you stop. Also, vaping in a theater is retarded. Do not vape in the theater. A friend of mine went to go see this movie the other day, and he said that the people in front of him were vaping, and it was kind of distracting to the film. Why the fuck would you vape in the theater? Why the fuck would you be on your phone in the theater? Leave your phone in the car. I feel like ushers should be like, do you have a phone? Yes. Turn it, give it to us and we'll give it to you at the end of the movie. That's how movies should be. You should give your phone. Like, I've gone to a lot of screenings and, you know what? This is a tangent and I'm just gonna leave it here.